Okay, let's check this thing out. This is a big case. Look at that. What could it be? Solar. All right. Check this thing out. Ready? That's pretty cool, huh? This thing is all metal. All right, so we are going to set this one up in drop A with these strings and that Evertune. So check it out. These things really aren't as difficult to work on as some people think. They do take a little bit of adjusting and fiddling with to get them dialed in right, but once they are, they work very well. Pretty cool. Dig the, almost like a black chrome almost. It's neat. I like the flat and glossy finish here. I don't, almost like an EVH, but I don't know, more metal. I like it. That's pretty cool. Looks like a decent guitar. I don't know if I've checked out a Solar before. Certainly not one like this. All right, let's, oops, all right. So, ooh, check that out. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Single black inlay at the 12 and 11 and 13, I guess. All right, pause this, get you guys up in the holder, and we'll get going. All right, that's a little better. Let's see how this thing is in tune as a out of the box. Customer who owns this, as far as I know, just ordered it. They shipped it to him, and this is how it showed up. Let's see how close we are. Tuner on. Come on. There we go. Let's say that B was a little flat. Let's see. B is a little flat, just a touch. E's on. A is a little flat. G is a little flat. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we weren't all the way up in the... No, it's actually very flat. I don't think... It doesn't appear this was actually dialed in before they shipped it. All right, well, let's get these strings off, get the new ones on, and we'll dial it all in. We got locking tuners. Okay, so let's just take the tension off. I usually just clip electric strings, but there's a lot of springs and stuff to do in that bridge, and let's not give it any extra reasons to not work correctly. Guess we can keep that on, do we? What are these pickups anyway? Duncan Solar. Okay, so they do their own versions for Solar. That's kind of cool. All right, locking tuners, disengage. Although with a Evertune, you don't necessarily need locking tuners. It's kind of redundant, but it does make it easy to change strings. All right. Of course, these were wrapped kind of like regular tuners, but that's okay. That board looks good. Looks like they use decent quality ebony. It is ebony, is it? I think it is. It sure looks like it. Here, let's zoom in. What do you think? Probably ebony. All right, well, back out. Okay. Gotta be careful with the end of this, not hitting the camera thing. This guitar is larger than most that I work on. All right. So these just come out the back like that. Okay, there. All right, let's change the angle of the dangle on this a little bit so I don't have less chance of bumping into it, right? Right. Okay. Guys, we'll see what it looks like in there. Here. We don't actually need to take this off, but I know a lot of people have never seen what an Evertune looks like. Ready? Here, we'll get a zoom in look. All right, and okay. Look at that. So here, each one of these are interchangeable. This is essentially 7 separate bridges being held together in, like, they call this thing a comb, I think. And this also just helps hold things in place. But these things all, if you take this whole chunk comes out, and these can be interchanged for other different tension mechanisms, which is kind of cool. You can use basically any gauge string you want with these things, any tuning, but you sometimes have to change out. See the whole thing, like, it's not really even attached to the guitar by much of anything. But anyway, that's what it looks like. I've had to change these out for a customer before. It was a kind of a minor pain in the neck. It's kind of tricky once these are out to get everything to stay together while you're trying to clip these things in and out. It's not awful, but that can be a little daunting. Anyway, all right, let's swing back out. We'll put this back on because we don't need it off, purely for demonstrational purposes. But it is nice that you don't have to, assuming the pieces are all set up for the strings you want, you don't have to ever take this off to change strings or to do minor adjustments. You hear that, Fender? It can be done. Also, see how these, Fender, pay attention to that. Okay, let's flip it back over. Nothing really needs to be done, I don't think. Let's just give it a quick... Yeah, frets look good. I mean, hey, I gotta give Solar some credit here. This is nice fret work. Very nice fret work. Ends are nice and smooth. They're polished out pretty decently. Let's give it a quick wipe down with some feed and wax. Probably doesn't really even need it, but let's just give it a wipe down anyway. Give the board a little oil, assuming that it's not, I don't think it's finished. I think it's just polished out. They did a good job polishing it too. But in New England, ebony likes to crack. So we'll keep it hydrated if we can. Nice. It's a nice guitar. I kind of want to see a 6-string version because I like this, but I am not a 7-string player. Tuners were a little loose. You guys see what's going on? No? I forget sometimes. Anyway, there we go. Tuner's a little loose, as I was saying. Getting about, quarter to a half turn on each one. Let's take this truss rod cover off for now. The neck has a slight forward bow, so depending on what the tension on these strings are, I'll probably still have to adjust it. Looks like a standard 4mm dual action. All right, let's wipe that down. Get that off of there. Yeah, this is very nice work. I'm kind of surprised. I think these are, where's this made? Indonesia, so they're getting better. That's cool. I remember some of the first Indonesian guitars were not all that spectacular, shall we say. Seems like they've gotten better machinery, factories, people, whatever. And that's that Taylor. Look at that, see? That stuff works great for taking off fingerprints on flat finishes or matte finishes or satin or whatever you want to call it. Not that it won't immediately get fingerprinted again, but it does work real well for taking that off. I like this. Is almost like a brushed, it's almost like a, yeah, I don't know if they intended to do it that way, but you can see like lines. It actually looks cool. We're gonna go with they intended to do it. All right. This cleaned up. And all the tuners seem nice and tension. They're brand new, so they should be. Looks like a Graphtec nut in there. That's cool. Hardware feels nice. Fuzzy thing there. All right, where'd our strings go? Oh, they're still in the case. All right, here we go. So open these up. And I don't think we need the box. So this is how I do this. First, we're gonna flip the guitar over. I'm wondering how this one's gonna balance on the bench. Let's move our air gun out of the way. Should be okay, right? Oh yeah. Wow, that, yeah. Oh, check it out, huh? Totally looks like it's gonna fall, doesn't it? Okay, anyway. So, I take the strings. And you guessed it, right through the holes. So right now, all the mechanisms in there have all dropped back down to their, what are they, the zone 1 position. Evertune tells you that there's 3 zones. And zone 1 is, right now, no string tension all the way up to when you'll hear the string, it'll raise in pitch, and then it'll stop raising in pitch for a while. In that area that it stopped raising in pitch while you're tuning it, it's called zone 2. And how this works, if I didn't have to set this up for these different strings, if you're just changing the exact same strings, exact same gauges, you just tune it up all through, keep turning it until all through zone 2 when nothing's happening, and until it starts to raise again. That brings you to, you guessed it, zone 3. And once you hit zone 3, that's when you back off your tuner just a little bit until you're basically wanting it right at the top of zone 2, bottom of zone 3, if you want to be able to bend. If you don't, say you want to have your low strings set to just chug and you're never going to bend, set them a little low in zone 3. But if you don't tune them up to that point, back here. If you don't tune them up to that point, then you'll never be able to bend because it'll always be compensating or trying to. We know people like that, right? People who always try to compensate, usually drive lifted F-250s. Okay. And I like to line up all my tuners so the strings go through straight first, right? Go. Just makes things a little easier, a little faster. That's all you have to do with locking tuners. Here, let's zoom out here and you can stare at the headstock side while I'm doing it. All right. Oh, now things loosen up again. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Oh, that'll be okay for now. So, next one. Just through the holes. Come on. Oh, where'd that one get taken back up? Oh, when I was cleaning it, probably. that. And you don't need to crank on with pliers or anything, or really reef on them. People break these things all the time because they think they have to set it to, 100 foot-pounds torque or something. Jeez. Get it to where it's starting to tighten up in like another half a turn. That's about it. Well, there we go. I usually widen the nose, but bend the strings up. Get them out of the way. Oh, whoops, that was not good. Right back out. Come on. Sure. Be difficult. All right, almost there. Cool. And actually, I'll bend these around this way. That. Okay, so check this out here. Let's change the position. I need two cameras so I can show bridge and saddle at the same time. Okay. So here we go. So we're gonna do the first string first. See, watch, it'll change pitch. And it'll get around E. Actually, this one's at D. So see how I'm tuning up and it's not going anywhere? There it is. So now we're at the top of zone. So this one was set up probably for D standard. What? No, it just wasn't. That's weird. Why would that be a thing? Well, anyway, we will adjust it. And so let's just do that string right now. So it's a 2.5 millimeter, and this screw right here is what adjusts your overall tuning. These are your, let's go down here so you can see. All right, okay. So these strings are for your string height, radius. Those are your intonation screws. Those are your tuning screws, okay? And then you just basically tighten it. Make sure you're well within zone 2 when you're doing this. Getting there. This must be a much different string gauge that was on this, right? All right, so there's E. Let's see if we're lined up. All right, so after getting it right, we're a little sharp. You have to go back and forth between that tuner and the headstock tuner a few times to get it dialed in. And also remember, this thing has weight, so you have to, for your final tuning, you got to take it out. All right, we're gonna leave that one right there for now because it's close. They often change when you get everything else just because the neck changes. They just do. All right, so next we're gonna bring the B up. Which is coming in at G sharp-ish. All right. Okay. Just like before, we are going to tighten this. Boy, the string gauge on these must have been something a lot different. I should have measured them. Oh well. So let's tighten it up. And if you're working on these and you feel that screw start to tighten up, stop. You will break it. Alright, gotten that one close enough. Next. Right at F sharp. So let's get that up to G. Alright, that's pretty close for now. On to the D. That's what she said. The D is not quite a D. It's a C sharp. Landed right on the D. Yeah. You guessed it. Now it's time for the A. Which is somewhere around the G. So the A was in the G spot. Yeah. Close enough. The E is kind of around E flat, D sharp, whatever you want to call it. All right, and this is going to be the drop A. Let's see where we're at. That is a C. Getting there. All right, okay, we're close to A. Leave that where it's at for now. And let's see. Actually, the neck. So these strings must have been a lower tension a little bit because the neck is straightened out from where it was, which is good. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Let's cut the excess off, get a little bit of stretch, which you really can't quite do on an Evertune. You can see where they eventually stop or bottom out, top out. I don't know. Okay, let's swing back out. You guys can see what's happening. Just clipping some strings. All right, so let's see where our action is at. I usually just pick this thing up a little bit, so I don't want to hit things. Yeah, our action is pretty high right now. What I would consider high-ish for a shred guitar. We are at, let's see if you guys can see this. I don't really want to take the camera thing out, but at the 12, we're about 2 millimeters on the high string, and I'm going to call it 2.5, 275. That's a bit high for a guitar like this. We want low action, no buzz. So this also will probably have to have me adjust tensions and whatnot. Whoops, which way we're going? It's the opposite on this one. You turn down and it pushes the saddle down. All right, that's one more. Where are we at? Where are we at? Normally I don't measure. That's about 1 millimeter at the 12. That's better. Okay, so how I do this is I pick up the whole guitar and I take my radius gauge. Don't need that plugged in for this. You guys see it if I do like that? Yeah. And so I take the headstock and neck and set it on my shoulder like that. So I have both hands free. I can hold the gauge and use whatever tools I need to use. So let's bring this down. I'm gonna just kind of eyeball it first. It's fine if I go a little under. Okay, and you can also see a good view of where your action's sitting from the headstock. If you just, if you hold the guitar like this. All right, so what is this? 20 probably, at least. Yeah, let's call that a 20-inch radius. And you can see which ones are still high by doing that. That G was still a little high. All right. So I'm not really pushing down, just lightly letting it touch the tops of the strings. And you can hear which ones are touching it, therefore which ones are still low or high. So these two here can come up a bit, like that, and like that. A, just a little bit more. There. That's as easy as that is. Let's see if it affected our tunage. Yeah, still pretty good. And let's see where our intonation is sitting. That's also flat. So, here, same type of screw, also handy. And when you adjust the intonation screw, you do have to retune up here. All right, getting a little better. That's a lot closer, but that did affect my tuning. So let's, whoop, come here. Come on, why? There we go. So we're a little sharp. A little more. That is right in. Alright, so we're at the bottom of zone 2. We're at the bottom of zone 2, watch this. See? That's what happens if you try to play it. Isn't that weird? Doesn't even change. All right, that E looks pretty good. Let's check that again. Maybe just a touch, just a touch. Almost everything on these bridges, ooh, I think that was top of it. Almost everything on these bridges is very fine threaded. So it seems like you're spinning it forever, not doing anything. It's for precise. All right, that's in. I think that was pretty much at the... There we go. Oh, I went too far, didn't I? Yep. This is the back and forth part. I wasn't close enough to zone 3. Not by much, that's okay. We're all right. Whoop, other ways. Other way. There we go. Now, I'm going to eyeball these so this goes a little quicker. We're going to turn this now. This is the tricky part when it comes to Evertunes, because when you're adjusting the intonation, the front of the saddle its position changes when you're in the different zones. So you really have to be up at the top of zone 2, right at the bottom of zone 3 to get correct intonation. Where are we at? Yeah, nailed it. Cool. And let's see, the tuning was still a little off on this one. That's really close. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Better view. Here, let's swing it in a little more. I might time lapse this from here to the end just because this is kind of boring. Okay? So yeah, you guys get how this works. I'm gonna time lapse this and stop talking to myself for a second. Okay, so I've got this pretty close. Let's double check our action. Where we like it. The treble might be able to go down just a little bit. Still might be just a touch high for what I would consider good. So let's bring that like that, and like that. I'm just kind of doing it less as I get to the lower strings. That looks better. Okay. Now let's do the final intonation and tuning. All right, just a little bit, just a little sharp here, like that much. Cool. Tuning's still a little off. This is where you want to take your time a little bit and just get it nice and dialed in. Just a little. Come on. Go in the hole. Well, that's cute. All right. Not cool. Not cool, Elixir. All right, well, let's go get another string. I guess elixirs don't like all that flexing and whatnot. It broke. How you like that? We got that little tiny piece in there. All right. Oh, okay. Here, let's just Let me see what I'm doing here. A little chunk of string still stuck in there. Do this without, there it is. There, got it. All right, go find them 10. Be right back. Pause. All right, we're back. And let's put another string in there, just like that. And hopefully this one doesn't break. Cool. Okay. All right. Tune it back up. Okay. Where is my tool? All right. Did I hear the door? Hold on. Nope, wasn't. Okay. All right, let's throw that broken string away and clip. Don't break this time, okay? All right, that's it. Good. Cool. B. Let's see how close we are. Yeah, we're right up at zone. B is in. G. G is in. B is in. D. D is still a little flat. So the D isn't quite in. I hate when that happens. All right. A little bit more. The D is in. You can kind of see, if you just go like that, you can see the saddles move. And kind of give you a visual idea of where you're. See, here it stops right there. That little clicky. A is a little sharp. I think we're good. E, let's see how close we are at the top. E is a little sharp. Okay, a little more. That looks pretty close. Just a little, well, let's see, let's try that again. A little bit more. All right, let's call that good. A. Still a little sharp. Okay. Hey, that's right in. Cool. A. E just might still be just a hair sharp. It's just because I'm picky. All right. So this thing is now dialed in. Let's see if it plays all right. I haven't actually played this thing other than just the 12th fret. See if our neck moved any. Sometimes they do. It's got maybe what I'd call just a slight forward bow. Let's see. Let's just make, hey, we should check and see if the truss rod works, right? Right. All right, so swing out, you can see what I'm doing. Let's just make sure everything works. Seems to. I think I felt it. Just a little bit. Here we go. Oh yeah. Flattened it right out. That's good. I like it. It might be just a slight, just very, very slight relief. Again, if this is going to be a shred guitar, you want it pretty dang flat. If it was for blues, because people definitely use this for blues, you might want a little bit more room to move, room to hit things hard, make all the blues faces. And let's see where our pickups are. Our pickups look, pretty good. Height's good. So, all right, let's swing you guys out a little bit like this, and you can see when I play it what it looks like. All right. Whoop! Don't drop it. Don't drop pointy guitars. They're kind of cumbersome on benches. All right. All right. How about that? Good enough? Close enough? It's got its own stand, so I guess I can move this out of the way for now. Pickups, they do anything? No push pull, so just regular humbuckers. Volume, no tone. Sound pretty good on with no distortion. All right, let's. Well, they did a good job in their nut slots too. All right, let's give it some chug. Did I leave it on a gain channel? Not really. That. All right, that should do. Wow, that's muddy. There's something else in my amp. Did I mess it up somehow? Probably. How about that? It's there. Oh, I was in the middle position. And you can bend, see? Oops. Yeah, new strings. That's why people play an Evertune. That's pretty impressive, I gotta say. You can really, it's pretty impressive. It's a nice guitar. All right, take it off suck mode. There we go. That's just a Cube 30, right? I don't know. Cube something. 30 or 60. I can't remember. Cube 30X, that's what it is. And when they're up in the air like that, facing sideways, I know they don't sound that great, but that's okay. It works. So, very cool guitar. I guess I need to check out more solar stuff, right? Let's get the truss rod cover back on. You guys can stop staring at my stomach and crotch. Come on. Okay, here we go. Excellent. Well, this is a very cool guitar. Hope you guys like it. Do all the YouTube things. Appreciate it. Maybe we can grow the channel. Who knows, right? And that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Later.